so far 35, 40,000 people killed. Those people have families who have children that will be alive, right? Those people, do you think they will love Israel anymore?
No.
So they will be hating Israel.
New generation of enemies.
So what? Palestine is like a fishbowl. A fishbowl. It's a lot of fish. It's condensed. There's like so much fish in so little air. And Israel is like the person over that bowl and just like crashing the bowl, killing the bowl, taking the fish anytime. Because we talk about hostages, but we never talk about Palestinian hostages. When October 7th happened, the response time was 6 hours. Now, just for people who don't know the Middle East, Israel is as big as New Jersey.
Yes.
It is that small and that horrible. And you know what drives me crazy, Chris? That even the Israeli media, they have refuted these lies many, many, many times, and and that's why I believe in you. I believe that you're an independent journalist and you can do something that not a single American news person have done. That just translate what is being said in the Israeli media. The Israeli media said that there was no babies in office. Many of the sexual harassment, sexual violence did not happen. Many of the women that was mentioned in the Sheryl Sandberg movie and the New York Times article were actually found to be true. Even there was like families of women that said they were being raped and burned, said like that didn't happen. So you have Israelis saying, basic, this is the biggest bro code I've ever seen in my life. You know bro code, when you lie for your bro? You're lying for your bro, and your bro doesn't want you to lie because he said like that didn't happen. So I don't know why is the American media being more royal than the king? Why they are not actually telling you what the Israeli media is telling about October 7th?
In this clip from News Nation, something really interesting happens. Bassem Youssef doesn't just debate Chris Cuomo, he challenges the way the story itself has been told. And that's what makes this conversation so powerful. Right from the start, Youssef raises a serious media question. He points out that even outlets inside Israel have debated and clarified early claims about October 7th, yet much of the American audience never hears about those internal discussions. His argument isn't about denying the tragedy, it's about consistency in reporting. That's a key distinction.
I think it gets complicated in this way. Were people sexually abused, killed, and a whole host of other things on October 7th? Yes, full stop.
Sure, yeah.
So when you start slicing into, yeah, but this one didn't happen, even if this dozen did, even if they did this, this, and this, they didn't do that, it starts to get into comparing the horrible in a way that distorts the reality. The reality is October 7th happened and it was terrible. That should be enough. To do an accounting of it, I think, is counterproductive. Does it matter that there weren't the dead babies and the headless babies? Yes, which is why I brought it up so much with the IDF.
Because the decapitated babies in
that
oven,
was a very powerful image.
All of that was actually made in order to have people turning a blind eye for the genocide. And I believe what's happening is genocide. And if you don't like the word genocide, how about too much killing?
Chris Cuomo pushes back, emphasizing that October 7th was horrific, full stop. And he makes the point that once you begin dissecting details, you risk minimizing the larger atrocity. It's a fair concern, but Youssef counters by saying details matter precisely because narratives shape public opinion and policy. And this is where the debate shifts from emotion to accountability.
We can say the extreme.
Well, they're very different things, and here's why I don't like genocide. We both know if the Israeli army wanted to kill as many people as they can, there'd be no people left there.
Let's check. Well, let's do. Here's the thing. Listen. I actually, one of the things that the exercise that I try to do is I try to see things from Israeli point of view. I understand that there's like a lot of anti-Semitism in Israel. Like there's a lot of anti-Semitism. There's a lot of people hate us, and that's why we need to kill as many Hamas people, and we need to eradicate Hamas. There's a collateral damage. We can't do anything about it. But I don't think that's enough, because when all of this, like so far 35, 40,000 people killed. Those people have families who have children that will be alive, right? Those people, do you think they will love Israel anymore?
No.
So they will be hating Israel.
New generation of enemies.
So what should we do? Israel should kill those people too. And when Israel is comfortable enough with killing as many people and taking as much land, and it's safe, you will have another problem. You'll have all of the Arab countries and the Muslim countries around. Do you think they will love Israel? No. So you eliminate and kill those countries too. And then by the time that Israel is comfortable enough with as much land and as just people that they kill, you will have a bigger problem. You have all of these white people in colleges that are against Israel. That's a lot of anti-Semitism. So they go and they're killed. And the thing is, we will only be safe.
But they've never acted on that instinct anywhere.
We will only be safe if Israel is safe, and Israel will be safe if all of us are dead.
But that's never happened. If anything, a history that Israel is struggling with right now in its relationship with the United States is that the United States has consistently stopped them from fighting back against their enemies.
How can you say that they stopped them? They stopped them by sending them $26 billion and
right
like
now
a quarter of our ammunition?
They're slowing
That's a
down.
great way.
They're slowing down weapons.
When Youssef questions casualty numbers, response times, and military strategy, he frames it as something American taxpayers have a right to examine, not from a place of hostility, but from a place of oversight. That's a big difference. He even says directly, "My tax money funds that war." That's not inflammatory. That's a policy argument.
Bassem, let's talk about the United States for a second.
Yes, please.
If you had American hostages,
Yeah.
the way Hamas has the hostages, that they won't give back, even though that would be their best leverage move. Give the hostages back. Any killing that happens after that, you obviously have high ground. And say, why are you doing this? We gave you the people back. Now it must just be malice. But they're not giving them back.
So basically,
if they were all Americans,
so
that place would be razed.
I like this discussion.
It would be razed.
What would America do? I love that discussion.
Yes.
And I want to
much more than Israel
and
has.
I tell of all of the kids watching us.
Much more than Israel has.
Whenever you are faced with this dilemma,
yes.
What if you have a moral dilemma? Always ask yourself, what would America do? Because that is a very impeccable track of foreign wars.
WWAD.
So so what should we do next? I mean, like, I mean, if America, like, what's next? Sending them like chicken pox blankets? I mean, like, this is what America would do with all of that history. Is like taking marriage advice from Henry VIII, like till death do us part.
But
literally,
it is relative.
It's like taking inclusion tips from the Inquisition.
Yes, but that is the state of play. And look, it's not like we're dealing with the Middle East with the most genteel people. I could make a very easy argument that I'm sure you would accept that your home country, Egypt, their border wall with Rafah and Palestine does not speak to brotherhood. You want them out. You don't want more to get in. You don't want more in Egypt. You have not treated the ones that are there as well.
Let's talk about like something that's.
So I don't know about the Arab Brotherhood.
Let's talk about the secondary effect of the killing. I told you this example before. This is like you going in, killing someone in Fifth Avenue, and you're angry at the neighbors for not burying the corpse. You have, I don't understand. Like, why doesn't Egypt tell them, like, why don't you stop the killing? That is the question. Okay, I hear the thing. Explain to me, like a 5-year-old who hasn't lost his limbs in Gaza yet, explain to me how...
Don't make me laugh at something happened like that in Gaza.
No, I'll tell you. I will give you a 5-year-old analogy.
Please.
Palestine is like a fishbowl. A fishbowl. It's a lot of fish. It's condensed. There's like so much fish in so little air. And Israel is like the person over that bowl and just like crashing the bowl, killing the bowl, taking the fish anytime. Because we talk about hostages, but we never talk about Palestinian hostages. There are like before October 7th, 5,000 Palestinian hostages in the prison of Israel. Now there's 12,000. Every single day, Israel can go in any house, take the house, burn the land, burn the olive oil, take the people, put them in. Isn't that hostage? That is a hostage situation that's been going on for years. But so Israel can do anything with this fishbowl. At a certain point, Israel is just hovering over that fishbowl. And then at one moment, a fish crazy enough, suicidal enough, will jump from the bowl through the air, bite the pinky of Israel. And Israel like, oh my God, that bitch bit my pinky. My hand was not even in the bowl. And then she goes, and they go in and they destroy the bowl. And all you can see is Israel pinky. You know what I call this? Tunnel vision.
When Youssef uses the fishbowl analogy, he's trying to simplify something extremely complex. Whether the analogy works or not is up for debate, but the point he's making is about cycles of violence and escalation. And that's something policymakers themselves often warn about.
Yes, I don't love the analogy because the pinky, I get it. The pinky is not a good analogy to October 7th.
Really?
And no, it's not just the
pinky. How many civilians were killed on October 7th?
For Israel, let's say it was 800.
373.
Let's say it was they say it was 1,400.
No. Oh, it's amazing that you mentioned the number. Because October 7th...
Well, I didn't make it up.
No. You were right. October 7th, the first number that came out was 1,400.
Right.
Then it was revised to 1,200. Then the final was 1,129. 373 of them were civilians.
Right.
56 of them were military and police. So 370. Why do you think the number came down from 1,400 to 1,129?
Because it was inaccurate.
No.
Why?
According to Israeli official, because so many bodies were so burned and so stuck together, they could not distinguish the Hamas fighters from the Israeli hostages, right? So That much fire that burns the body that much. Do you think people with machine guns on motorcycle have that kind of fire? No, that was the firepower of tanks and Apache. And according to Israeli witnesses, Israel was a lot, according to a Hannibal directive, if people would like to actually look that up, Israel actually killed many of those hostages on the way out. As a matter of fact, one of the soldiers said, I saw a car running back to the borders, and I know that there were hostages, so I thought of killing everybody instead of taking them hostage. And that is so effective. You understand what this soldier said? He was like, okay, if they are dead, there's no hostages, there's no rescue effort, so now I have saved one shift. This is amazing. Basically, like their idea of not negotiating with terrorists is not have anything to negotiate about. And those pictures of cars that were incinerated and burned to a crisp, this is not the fire. And this is another thing that I want you to do, Chris, because nobody talks about this. The Hannibal Directive and how Israel has messed up this has been talked about for months in Israel, and not a single American news person have talked about that. And let's talk about, okay, now, you know what? I will talk to you as an American funder. My tax money funds that war.
Another major turning point is when the discussion moves to U.S. involvement, aid, funding, military support. These are not fringe topics. They are openly debated in Congress. Youssef's core argument here is not about identity. It's about strategy. He questions whether current policies are creating more instability long-term. Cuomo counters that security decisions are rarely simple and that hindsight doesn't always capture real-time threats. That tension between hindsight and urgency is at the center of this exchange.
And we fund Israel for a very important thing, to keep Jewish people safe, right? We need to keep Jewish people safe. When October 7th happened, the response time was 6 hours. Now, just for people who don't know the Middle East, Israel is as big as New Jersey.
Yes.
It is that small and that horrible. And if you have a small, in a place that small, they have more military bases and airfields more than Manhattan has Starbucks.
So why do you think it was so slow?
I don't know, but like I'm telling you, I don't know if I cannot stop the war. At least as someone who financed that, I need a performance report. They took 6 hours to move in something that shouldn't take more than 5 minutes. 6 hours. Did they stop to ask for directions? Were they they're taking the scenic route?
You are suggesting that they wanted it to go
I
on.
don't know. I don't know. I am asking you as a performer, why are we why are we not talking about the failure of that state that we finance and
Because
we pay?
because they're in the midst of crisis. Look,
No.
When we were
in the middle of the crisis, you can evaluate the people that you are financing. 26 billion, and also
We never do that.
And also, like crisis,
We never do that.
I'm sick and tired of this, Chris.
we never do that, Bassem, just so you know.
They cannot play the victim and the oppressor in the same time.
What makes this clip resonate online is that it reflects a broader shift happening across media spaces. Viewers today want transparency, they want consistency, and they want to see journalists challenge power regardless of which government is involved. This wasn't about religion, it wasn't about ethnicity, it was about policy, media framing, and public accountability. And that's why it's generating so much discussion. Whether you agree with Youssef or Cuomo, the fact that this conversation happened live, unfiltered, and without shouting is significant, because difficult conversations handled openly are better than conversations avoided entirely. What do you think? Was Youssef asking necessary questions, or did Cuomo have the stronger case about context and proportionality? Let me know in the comments.